All right. Let's open with prayer. I open this service with a prayer, and I open this prayer with what I know to be the most potent words I can speak, or we can speak. Thank you. Thank you for the connectedness we make in this community of warm and loving souls every Sunday. Thank you for the blessings of health, happiness, and prosperity. Thank you for the wonder of nature all around us, everyday wonder that is all God all the time. Continuing this prayer, I recognize that there is only one God, known by many names, but still only one Father, Mother, Parent, Creator of the one life. That life is perfect, complete, and divine, and it is my life now, and the life of all people, all animals, all nature. All of us here, out there, everywhere. All of us coming together, united as one family. So from a place of genuine appreciation for the star stuff we are made of, I declare our hearts and minds open as we come here this morning to hear the spiritual principles that form our faith and to trust what we know is true of spirit within us today, tomorrow, and eternally. And so it is. Well, good morning. I am Pat Ferguson, your spiritual director for 2022. Welcome to the Louisville Center for Spiritual Living. Our relationship with nature is the topic of the day, and Vicky has selected some really special music to go with her talk. Her talk is entitled, We Are Star Stuff. No doubt we'll learn about how our relationship with God and nature are one and the same. And that makes sense because God is in and around us and in and around everything, and is what everything, including us, is made of. So when we say there is no place that God is not, we really mean it. As is my custom, I open my morning prayers before service to welcome the day and the week ahead, and I light our God candle so it will be shining bright and warmly to welcome you in. I hope it's the first thing you see when you pop into our Zoom room. Also, I want you to know that you are welcome here no matter where you come from, what denomination you were brought up in, or were last, or even if this is your first faith experience. All are welcome here. But the most important thing for you to remember is that you are welcome here. Join me in saying our mission and vision statement. Our mission statement is to teach personal transformation as a virtual community, living the principles of science of mind and celebrating all paths to God. Our vision statement, a world that honors and respects all people. And now we really get the party started with the opening song, This Moment by Kylie.
In this divine moment we come to express all the love flowing out from our hearts. In this divine moment we know we are blessed for being right here where we are. In this divine moment we open our hearts, we open our minds to know who we are. In this divine moment we listen, we sing, we let the love bring us right now to this moment, to this moment. In this divine moment we breathe in the good and release any thoughts of unrest. In this divine moment we pray all as one and expect perfect peace, nothing less. In this divine moment us right now to this moment, to this moment, to this moment, to this moment.
Where I am, God is. Where I go, God is. Welcome. Tammy Ellis is our practitioner of the week for our spiritual reading and meditation. Tammy?
Good morning, everybody. And just like you're saying, Pat, let's get this party started. This is a party today, a celebration, our topic of us and the universe. So I am delighted today to read a quote from an author about our astronauts and some actual quotes that are on a YouTube that I found called Down to Earth. And I'll put that in the chat if you're curious and interested in seeing that YouTube. It has beautiful scenic landscape for what the astronauts see from the space station down, looking on beautiful Earth. And I'm so grateful to be the practitioner today, because I'm not sure if I would have found this other than doing research for bringing this to us today. There's an author called Frank White. He is the author of the book called Overview Effect. And one of his quotes is, "The theory is that an astronaut's experience of space flight fundamentally changes their worldview." And here are the actual comments of several astronauts talking about their amazing experience being in space, living in the International Space Station. Launching into space is, of course, a momentous experience. Floating in the International Space Station is very cool. It brings out your inner 5-year-old. It's as fun as you think it would be, only better. It's a burrito of awesomeness smothered in awesome sauce. The amazing observatory facing Earth is the place to be. It's a life-changing experience. Seeing the curve of the horizon, it's overwhelming, overload for your brain, as it's emotional as well as cerebral. I just kept smiling. It moved me to tears. In that instant, when seeing the beauty of the Earth, everyone cries. It's breathtaking. It's more crystal clear from space. The colors seem even more vibrant and translucent. Pearlescent yellows and peaches. When looking at a body of water with the sun angle, it's just so amazing. It's like a work of art. It surprises you every time you look. One of the most impressive things was watching storm activity moving around the planet. You can see big flashes all over the place. It's like watching neurons firing in our brain. These tentacles of light that are just connecting and traveling over Florida, but then moving over the ocean to Africa. Oh my gosh, I kept thinking everything is connected. It struck me when you see natural disasters, realizing the people below are suffering. You realize it affects everyone on the planet. It really gives you the perspective that we are all in this together. You can see the continents, the Nile River, mountain ranges, the Red Sea, deserts and oceans. The color palette is hard to compare. All these reds and oranges, the dunes in Africa and Saudi Arabia, so many textures. Every piece of the earth has different color tones. You see the beauty of the landscape and realize how special Earth is, and you feel the connection. When you look at the earth from that vantage point, you don't see political borders and barely geographic borders. You feel the sense of commonality, something that unites us all, that we are all human. I love looking at the atmosphere at night when you have that air glow, and sometimes it's a bit green, and then you see the aurora borealis dancing all around. It's just breathtaking. How Earth, this beautiful, shining oasis of life, is there in the middle of pitch black vacuum of space. And when you look out at the stars, it's like you have never seen them before. The Milky Way is stunning. You can see the spiral galaxy of Andromeda. You can see the subtle colors of the stars, a little reddish and blue. I could see the depth of the stars that you can't see when you're looking up from Earth. You see so many stars. It's hard to even pick out the constellations. It's just so vast and infinite. So if you'd like to take just a few deep breaths with me as we take in that beautiful observations of the astronauts as we move into our meditation for today. If you'd like to just relax as you're taking in your breaths and close your eyes if you like. Allow yourself to contemplate these questions. What do I enjoy about being on planet Earth? What colors, aromas, sights, and sounds do I enjoy? What is my connection with planet Earth? What do I enjoy about being part of a vast universe with stars and other planets and other galaxies? What is my connection with the universe? If you so choose, allow these words to be your own. I am open to an unfolding, wonderful, loving connection with my planet Earth. I am open to an unfolding, wonderful, loving connection with the stars and space and universe. I am grateful for all the beautiful scenery, sounds, and aromas on my planet Earth and the universe. And so it is. If you'd like to take another deep breath as you come back from this contemplation.
Good morning, beautiful people. I just want to invite us, oh my goodness, to just take a breath and take a minute to let all of that find its place within you. That was a whole service right there. And thank you so much to everyone and everything that was a part of bringing that. I am Vicky Jeter, a practitioner for Louisville Center for Spiritual Living. It is my great pleasure, following in Tammy's footsteps, to be speaking with you today. So far this month, our investment in relationships has taken us to investigating our relationship with ourselves, with others, and last week, Doug Iveson brought some fascinating perspectives on relationship and community. So today we're going to expand to looking at our relationship with Mother Earth and our relationship with the universe, the cosmos. Do you think about the universe and your part in it very often? It really is more significant than you might have imagined, because as the title of our theme for today says, we are actually star stuff. Before we dive into where that's coming from, let's check a couple definitions, because we frequently hear the terms universal and universe in science of mind. Universal is a quality of something being all-encompassing and immeasurable, like when we talk about universal spirit or universal law. It's not physical. On the other hand, universe is the physical universe of stars in the heavens, which science of mind declares as the body of God. Three perspectives of our relationship to Earth and the universe are: number one, we're a small part, a microcosm that makes up the whole, macrocosm. We're going to be looking at how parts make up progressively larger, more complex wholes throughout all creation. Now, as we advance through the progression, keep in mind that neither energy nor matter are ever permanently destroyed. Everything moves through cycles of becoming the next new form, but no form, no energy ever ends. For example, the food we eat becomes part of our living cells. Rain that falls becomes part of streams, rivers, and eventually part of the ocean. Or rain falls to grow into plants that nourish other life. Everything that is destroyed or dies lends either to the energy or the form of new life. Number two, we're going to revisit inner life and outer experience. The forming of the cosmos originates in universal consciousness, just as every aspect of creation or co-creation that we participate in. Considering the expanse of the heavens, it's not hard to see the intelligence that's there. It must be there in order to create all that and keep it all going. But where is the heart in all that space? We will be looking at where intimacy and connection are in the cosmos. Number three, our relationship with Mother Earth brings it all together. When we're in harmony with and respecting our relationship with all of nature, we find a level of sacredness and beauty that we might have been oblivious to before. Natural law through the universe sustains physical expression as the body of God in all things. An intimate relationship with Earth, personally, is perhaps the strongest gateway we have to a direct experience of knowing our true place and purpose within the larger picture of everything. So, the macrocosm is the world as a whole, or the universe as a whole, with a microcosm being one small part. Thus, the universe may be understood as a large living organism with each part being a microcosm of it. Astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson said, "We are part of this universe. We are in this universe. But perhaps the most important point, rather than both of these facts, is that the universe is within us." I'll give you a moment to take that in. The universe is within us. Now, here is a 45-second video clip to illustrate this. It comes from a video called Babies Know, about infant consciousness and human development. The opening picture is of a baby in the womb at about 12 weeks gestation. Then, right away, the focus shifts to deGrasse Tyson's point. Vernon?
Science can now show us how both babies and stars are born. These are bubbling gases in distant space, a celestial nursery where stars are formed. And this is a fertilized egg, only 1 day old. This is an image of the sun. And here is a human being now 25 days old. Isn't this amazing? Creation looks much the same whether you look into the heavens at a giant nebula or into the womb at a baby just being conceived.
So, taking in how closely the fertilized egg looks like the sun is an example of a hologram where the whole is in every part, and one of deGrasse's points when he said the universe is in us. We really are star stuff, because the basic elements that make life possible, which are oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, and carbon, and there's some others, but those are the main elements absolutely necessary for life, are elements originating beyond Earth's atmosphere that gathered as Earth was forming, which was just over 4.5 billion years ago. This is how we all start. Every cell of our bodies is a microcosm of our whole body, which is a macrocosm in itself. Think back to the talk a couple weeks ago when we looked at how groups of people form units like families or marching bands. Every human being is a part of a larger group. As we know, each of us is a part of what makes up the whole of humanity on Earth. And humanity is one part, one kingdom of what makes up all life on Earth. Next slide. There are 5 identified kingdoms of life on Earth: animals, plants, fungi, protists, and monorea. These last 2 are organisms so tiny it takes a microscope to see them. Yet they are so significant to life on Earth as a whole that they are each recognized as a kingdom of their own. Now, Earth is a microcosm of the Milky Way galaxy. Next slide. This is the Milky Way, like Tammy was describing that the astronauts have seen. And we are here in that, there you can see the picture points out. That's where Earth rests within the Milky Way galaxy. The Earth is like one cell in that larger galaxy body, like one band member in a monumental marching band. Now, the Milky Way is just one galaxy, a microcosm among billions of galaxies that we now know exist. I'm sure you've all heard of the Hubble telescope that was the first to send images from deep space in the universe back to Earth. You may or may not know that the next generation of space telescopes, the James Webb Space Telescope, known as the JWST, just started sending streams of images back to NASA this June. The range of the JWST goes beyond 13.5 billion light years away from Earth. I want to just stop there. So Earth was created 4.5 billion years ago. 13.5 billion light years, that's the length of time it takes light to move, which is much, much more expansive than even a billion years. 13.5 billion light years away, these images are coming from Earth, or back to Earth. At NASA, they're saying this is a reading of the trace signatures of light from celestial bodies that were the very first to form, resulting from the Big Bang, which is actually no longer a theory, y'all. Really, they have determined as close as they can that there was a Big Bang that birthed our universe. Now, here is one of the first images we received from that farthest reach. Next slide. Billions of galaxies, each containing billions of stars, moons, planets, black holes. This is spirit emerging as itself limitlessly to infinity. And how can a ray of light that originates from a celestial body 13.5 billion light years away be captured by the refracting mirror of a telescope that was created on Earth? Because uninterrupted light never ends. We are spiritual beings of light. Literally, we are spiritual beings of light. Like the stars in the heavens, we are limitless and infinite. In Creative Mind, like the book Creative Mind, Ernest Holmes put it this way: all of nature, the entire seen and unseen universe, is happening within and as a result of God acting upon itself. Nothing happens outside of spirit. How we relate to nature is a direct demonstration of how we relate to ourselves and to God. Every attribute, every trait, quality we experience in nature all express some aspect of our relationship with God. Here is the intimacy in the universe that is always present at every point, available to and through all of creation. The intimacy of connection and love is spirit as us. As we recognize spirit as consciousness in the stars that we see at night, those stars are love expressed. The love is there. The love is everywhere. It's about the connection of relatedness. So if you're a person that's had a star named after you in the sky, and every night you look up at that star and you say, that's Marion, you know, like in the movie Apollo 13, the astronaut named the star for his wife, and every night she would go out and say, where's my star? And they would say, there's Marion. And that's relationship. That's love. And it's everywhere when that's how we see it and relate to it. Ernest Holmes goes on to say, just how it creates, we cannot know, and we do not need to attempt to understand. For whatever this process of creation is, we find it is always an inner thought process in our experience. We should keep this in mind. Spirit makes all things out of itself. Everything comes into being without effort, and when we exert ourselves, we are not in accord with creative spirit in the way that it actually works. The impulse of the spirit to move must be caused by a desire to express what it feels itself to be: beauty, form, color, life, love, and power. All things we find in the manifest universe are attributes of spirit and are caused to spring forth into being because spirit wants to enjoy itself. So when you reach for a greater sense of connection to Earth, nature around you through flowers and butterflies, working in the soil of your garden, or whatever it might be for you. Remember that living expression is intelligent. The intelligence that hung those stars in the heavens is the same intelligence within you and within everything you engage in nature. That intelligence will connect with you as you connect with it. Did you know that when people walk in grass or in fields where there is soil with bare feet, the cells of our bodies go into the soil and the soil reads them. The soil reads the cells that drop in from our feet and tells the soil that we are there. The intelligence of the soil, knowing what is living on it, is one way nature provides for areas producing the food that plants and animals need that are living on it. Japanese author Haruki Murakami said, "The stars are not just beautiful. The stars are like the trees of a forest, alive and breathing, and they are watching me." I'm in a wonderful class right now called Speaking Earth, Planetary Psychology, Spirituality, and Philosophy, which Synchronicity says, as you can tell, it's about this whole thing. This new field that has developed just since 2007. Leaders in it call it eco-psychology, and they're encouraging all people to understand that building an experience of direct connection with nature and earth is one of the soundest forms of therapy there is for people to reduce stress and anxiety and regain physical and emotional health. So if you don't know what else to do, or even if you do know what you're doing to maintain your health or perhaps heal something, absolutely adding an element of somehow getting in connection with something that is living earth is going to augment everything you're doing. So this week, explore ways you can enhance and nurture your relationship with God through nature. Not everyone is a tree hugger, a dog lover, or loves to have their toes in the sand, and not everyone needs to be that. The goal is to explore ways that work for you to expand your appreciation and wonder for nature. Maybe that's going to an area arboretum and learning about ecology and the balance and what you can do to support it. Maybe it's laying on your porch and stargazing while feeling the expansiveness of the cosmos and realizing those lights you see of suns that burned out billions of years ago, yet their lights still shine brightly. Remembering that all matter matters. How can you honor and celebrate the divine nature and you? Now, as a last resource that NASA plans to have around for years, and just because it's too much fun, let's watch 2 minutes of live JWST. This comes from YouTube, and it's there. It's a live feed. And NASA plans on leaving it available. And Vernon's going to run this for us. And then after this clip, I'm not going to say another word. I will go directly into prayer. Just, take a little visual meditation, and we will pray us out. taking a pausing breath, making room for this to meet you where you are, which, as we know, is where God is. I recognize one divine, omnipresent spirit that is the source of all life, all love, all natural law, right here, right now. In, through, and as each person within the sound of my voice and each person listening to this in the future, God is, I am, and all is well. And from this alignment in mind, heart, and soul, I realize in my experience right now that the awakening to the realization in direct experience for each person here present is collectively leveraging the world that can work for each and all of us and collectively together. It is not necessary that we see precisely how that is, because God sees it through us, each and every one, through each and every kingdom of the earth, through every flower, every blade of glass, every raindrop that falls. God is. And as things unfold with each new shift, with each thing that happens, where from the small perspective, it looks like something coming out of balance, Spirit has that correction. The intelligence of God maintains that balance through all of it, everywhere, all the time. From the most immediate, from every moment of our lives, every prayer we pray, to the prayers the astronauts prayed when they saw the whole picture. And so we simply say, for being together, sharing this time, knowing these truths as community, thank you, thank you, thank you, God. I just release it into the law. I let it be, and so it is.
And I'm so grateful. Thank you, Vicky. Such a beautiful description, word-wise and pictures. Oh my goodness, so beautiful. Thank you for that. Blew my mind. And so as we move to the our prosperity affirmation, I'll say it first, and then if you'll join me. I am grateful, free, and abundantly blessed. Yes. And if you'll say it with me now, I am grateful, free, and abundantly blessed. Yes. We are so grateful for any gifts given to our center, to our Louisville Center for Spiritual Living. And you can see in the chat ways to give by good old snail mail, or through the internet ways. And Pat, if you will please bless our offering.
Thank you, Tammy. One God, one life, one supply. Thank you for being the light from within that halos our time, talents, and treasures, and causes us to understand that the flow of all three from us is the same flow that circles back to us multiplied. We are grateful to be blessed in such ways, both as a center and individually. God is the giver and the gift. Our center is the blessed receiver of infinite riches, which are within and all around us. With great gratitude, I lift these words into a law that only says yes, and I release them there to become evident. And so it is. Tammy.
And now for our announcements. We'll be having a board meeting via Zoom, and you're very welcome to join us this next Wednesday, July 27th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That would be 4 p.m. Texas time. Yahoo! And next week's speaker, I'm happy to announce, is going to be our own Pat Ferguson, and speaking about the one and only. So we look very forward to that. Thank you, Pat. And then we will also be having a guest speaker August 14th. They'll be offering a 2-hour workshop starting at noon. Oh, yeah, the unigram. I've done this before. This is really wonderful. I'll look forward to doing this. The unigram, your unique path, spirituality. Can't read the other word because it's behind the wonderful pictures of Vicky. That's okay. So join us to learn about one of the most profound systems for understanding yourself and others, the unigram. So learn your type, your motivations, and you can learn to shift into higher consciousness. And the suggested love offering is $25, but please just join us if that's something you'd like to do.
Okay. And just for a second, I'll quickly say our guest speaker is Reverend Tony LaMotta, and she is an Enneagram aficionado, and she is one of my instructors from ministerial school. So she is known to us, even though I'm so excited to get to introduce her to you all. I think you're really going to enjoy. She'll be speaking for us on that Sunday and then staying for the workshop. So do plan to put it on your calendar.
And if you'll say this together with me, you are magnificent. I love all the red, white, and blue stars, Pat. That's so beautiful. All the fun red, white, and blue.
Thank you.
And then if you'll please join us for the closing song.
Love is My Decision by Daniel Nahmine.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. My decision, right here and now.
I firmly believe that nature brings solace in all troubles. We can never have enough nature. We're made of star stuff. We are a way for the cosmos to know itself. Those are the combined words of Anne Frank, Henry David Thoreau, and Carl Sagan. Beautiful together. Ending this service as we began, for the collective, I say thank you. Thank you, Spirit, for acting upon yourself as nature and also as each of us. Thank you for helping us understand that every aspect of creation is an inner thought process, yours alone or ours through you. Thank you for reminding us that showing respect for the attributes and traits of nature is showing regard for you and ourselves, because Spirit is in all things and all things are of Spirit, and we can never be separated. We are blessed to have this day, our yesterday, and all of our tomorrows, rewarded by our interconnectedness. We are simply blessed, and we know it. We appreciate all that we have and all we are capable of being when we accept who we are and whose we are. And on these and multiple other gratitudes, and from a place of deepest reverence for the animals, planets, stars, and planets, I lift these words into a law that always says yes, automatically and impartially, and release them. And so it is.